some issues remain open because they are in the process of being discussed. We'll be meeting again because the nature of discussion was inconclusive. We'll be meeting again on the 16th of this month, and I have a sitting to really conclude the discussion on those specific points. The drafts have been now, the legal drafts with the gaps, the gap means the undecided issue, are now being sent for legal vetting, after which they'll be circulated in the GST Council for a formal approval. Now obviously, when I refer to the gaps, it refers predominantly to 2 or 3 issues, or issues falling under 2 big heads. And if I may just illustratively explain to you, the first retains to the definition of the word territory, and the second deals with both cross-empowerment and dual control. These could be technically 2 separate issues, but they can be, for classification purposes, clubbed into one. The issue of territory, it's a complex issue. The issue broadly is that area within 12 nautical miles into the sea is a part of Indian territory. And a question does arise, whose territory is it? Conventionally, service tax and customs is charged in those territories by the Government of India. And some states had, as far as the fishing business is concerned, the Constitution provides for fishing rights to the states in that area. What about other taxes? Some states have been levying taxes in the nature of sales tax or VAT. The centre has not levied it. So the case of the states is that since we've been levying taxes, we should be allowed to levy taxes. The contra-argument is, this strictly does not fall within the definition of a state territory. And under Article 366, sub-Article 30, this is to be considered as a unionly administered territory. It's a union territory. Because the definition of a union territory in the Constitution is that what is not a part of a scheduled state is a union territory. Now this issue has been pending in courts also and is currently before the Supreme Court. And before the Supreme Court, the Government of India, which earlier was not very active in this litigation because it was between the assessees and the state governments, had some years ago jumped in and taken a stand that this is my territory, so I must be allowed to raise taxes in it. The case of the states is that we should be allowed to raise tax in this. So it's an issue which has to be, a constitutional solution has to be followed. And the solution has to be legally tenable. So I have told the council that we are examining it and we will try and see how this can be legally managed, because the answer to this problem is not political or not even an arrangement between the centre of the states. It has to be found within the framework of the Constitution, that if it is union territory, can a state levy a tax within the unionly administered territory? They can do it only in their own territory. So it's a pure constitutional issue. The minister from Karnataka has suggested a particular formulation which we will consider. So the issue is, if I may say, very close to resolution, but we need a legal response to it. It has to be adequately tested. The next issue is with regard to the administration of the IGST and the cross-empowerment and the dual control and its management. Now, this is a complex issue on which we've discussed on a couple of times earlier. We haven't found a solution. I must say today most states, many of the states were, an overwhelming majority, I would say, of the states had a very positive attitude, and we started the discussion which was inconclusive, and we've decided to meet on the 16th again so that we are able to untie the knots as far as this issue is concerned.